Solving polynomial inequalities. This is just the third time we've done inequalities. We did linear, we did quadratic, now we're going to do polynomial. The steps are the same. So first, move all terms to the left of the inequality symbol and find where f of x is equal to 0. Either do it symbolically or graphically. Second step, construct a number line with the solutions indicated. Remember to use an open dot if the inequality is less than or greater than, and a closed dot if the inequality has a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Now, this is the old way, symbolically, and it's slow. It works, but it is slow. So start picking up from step 2. Third step, get a test value out of each section. If the test value makes the original statement true, then shade that section of the graph. If the test value makes the original statement false, then leave that section unshaded. Fourth step, write your answer in interval notation. You really need to get to the graphic or doing these or solving these problems graphically because it is so quick. So picking up off of step 2, once we've indicated on the number line our solutions and did the appropriate circles, go graph the thing. You've already moved everything over to the left-hand side. You've got y equals, so y equals 0. So we're going to go look at the graph. Where the graph is above the x-axis is where the inequality is greater than 0. My y values are positive, and I'll indicate a little plus sign in that section to show that. Where the graph is below the x-axis is where the inequality is less than 0 because my y values are negative, and I'm going to put a little negative to indicate that. Shade the graph appropriately with respect to the inequality symbol that's present in the original inequality statement, and then write your answer in interval notation. So I've got a couple of problems. Move down. Solve the following. So I need to move everything over to the left-hand side. And this is the one I'm going to be using to decide what sections work. So I need to change it to an equation and solve. So I believe I did this, I tried factoring, so let me look at factoring here. It does factor. This piece right here can never equal 0. This factors, that's a difference of perfect squares. So my answer should be x equals a negative 3 halves and x equals 3 halves. Let's see what else. So I separated them individually. So there's no solution here. Now if I go graph this, let's go graph it. I've got 4x to the 4th, 4x to the 4th minus 5x squared minus 9. Let me do a zoom 6. I'm going to elongate the window because this is to the 4th power. Both ends are up, so it only hits twice because if you'll notice, it went down, came up, and then went back down and went back up again. So I'll just show you what's happening down there. I'll go to negative 15. Let's see what it looks like. So you see it only hits twice. So if we went and found our zeros, second trace for the calc menu, number 2, I'm going to put in negative 3 and 0. And I don't guess. There's my negative 1.5, which corresponds to my first solution that I got. So second trace for the calc menu, number 2. You put in 0 and 3 for the one on the right, and don't guess, so there's my 1.5. Okay, so let me move this piece on up. Let's see what I've done. So I've got my 1.5. Now this, if you'll notice, is greater than or equal to, so I should have solid dots. There's that solid dot, and there's that one. So now here's my signs. To the left of negative 1.5 over here, notice my y values are positive. So I'd have a positive right here. In between negative 1.5 and 1.5, they're below, so I'm going to have a negative. And to the right of this 1.5, it's above, so it'll be positive. Do you see how fast that is? So the sections that make this statement true, let me go back. This side, my left-hand side, the 4x to the fourth minus 5x squared minus 9, it's going to have to be positive in order to be greater than or equal to 0. So this piece here would work. Let's see if I can go find me some shading. Shapes. I think I'll use that one. So I would go this way. I would shade that way. And I've got to go get another one, because I got to go shade the other way now. And I would shade, stop that way. I'll move it down a little bit, make it look prettier. And I'll fill it in. That's cool. So my solution would be negative infinity to negative 1.5 with a bracket, union, bracket 1.5 to infinity. So there's that one. Let's try this one. So first thing, bring everything over to the left-hand side. I know I'm going to have open dots. Make it equals. And I like to factor. So if you'll notice, I can factor out an x, and x is common to all. And this probably, 6 and 2 would work. X minus 6, x plus 2. And set them individually equal to 0. So x would be 0, x would be 6, x would be negative 2. Let's go graph this piece right here. So back to y equals. Let's clear that one off. X raised to the third minus 4x squared minus 12x. So let me do a zoom 6. If you remember, I messed up my window a minute ago. So it goes up, it comes down, and it goes back up again. This is a cubic, and the left hand would be down, right hand up, because my coefficient is positive here. So this is all I need to see. I do not need to see where it bottoms out. I don't have to see that. I'm looking at these particular values. If you go find your zeros, this should be negative 2. There's 0, and there's my 6. So let's see. Let me get rid of this piece first. I've got my numbers there, and let's see if I did open dots. So let's go do our signs. To the left of negative 2, that should be negative here. This between negative 2 and 0, that will be positive. Between 0 and 6 would be negative. And to the right of 6, I would be positive there. There's my signs. Now I go back and see. On this one, I want them to be positive again. I want this side to be greater than 0. And in order for that to work, this side has to be positive. Now, this problem could have been a less than. And if it had been a less than, then this side would have had to have been the negative pieces. So I need this piece right in here and this piece over here. So why don't you go ahead and shade. Shade from negative 2 to 0 and 6 to infinity. And I'm going to use parentheses and a union. So that would be my solution for this one. Okay? Got some problems to do. Go do them. Thank you.